Take a listen.
As everyone knows, we live in a digital age now. Everything is online. The data, material, the resources, everything is online, and you do need data to get a hold of it. Research. As a graphic design student, you always need to be updated about the modern style that you can go with. You need to get tutorials. You need to be always informed and be always updated, and it's almost impossible if the data costs are so high, and I mean there's enough resources in school, but then when you get home you need to carry on from where you left off. Yeah, so it becomes very difficult as a student to maintain the costs. Yes.
And then, Nokutula and Kosi, you are also a graphic design student. As Lishla has mentioned now, that you get to do your work here at your school, but then of course you have to also do after hours work, and that has an impact on the way that you are able to deliver on the assignments that you are given.
Oh yes, it does, because at school, we are given the access to the internet from 8 till 5. After 5, you're on your own. You have to perhaps use 20 Wi-Fi, which sometimes is on and off, and it's not safe. Me as a woman, I don't feel safe around this Wi-Fi hotspot, especially after hours. So you could easily get mugged and lose your very expensive gadget, because we have to use good quality gadgets as graphic designers. Yes. And
then, Alicia, can you give us a sense as to how do you go about? You basically have to then look for promotions by these different cell phone providers as to where you can get the best and the cheapest data then.
Yes, this year I switched in between 3 networks, and yeah, it's been very difficult because you need to maintain, a network provider promotes this new thing where you can get data for very low cost, and then when you switch there, the promotion ends. Now you have to switch to another network provider just to sustain, and it's very inconsistent. It's stressful. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
And maybe Nokutula, if you can give us a sense as to, you obviously have assignments that you have to do. You also have deadlines that you have to perform and you have to meet. What is the impact on in terms of your delivery?
It's really frustrating, because now sometimes you get allowance, it's not enough. You have to buy food, you have to buy a few things, and money for data kind of runs out. So yeah, it does kind of doesn't.
So what do you do then to make sure that you are able to deliver?
I can actually visit a friend who has a Wi-Fi hotspot at their place and quickly do my assignments and stuff like that. But then that also costs me, because I have to pay for Uber to go back to my place, and that's not really. I don't know, it's not nice.
So what would be some of the recommendations that you guys would have in terms of how to lessen the burden on students in terms of the cost of data?
I would say there should just be a permanent solution for students, whereby maybe the campuses or educational institutions find a way of maybe giving internet access that is only reached by students, exclusively at either at a very low cost or for free, because I mean we don't have money, enough money for data. As she mentioned, we need to cover for food, for transport to get to these different institutional campuses. So yeah, there should be a permanent solution.
How about student get student SIM cards? Like different institutions, you get a SIM card which you can use after hours. Perhaps the institution meet halfway with the networking, like say Vodacom, and then they work up a deal, and then perhaps each student get 5 gig a month, and then those data you can use them after hours, after school, because during school hours you do have the access to the internet.